I'm Roger. This is Episodes Review, and today we're doing the Acolyte episodes 1 and 2 of this first season, streaming on Disney+. So this show just dropped this week. It's a Star Wars show set about 100 years before the events of Episode 1, so we have a fresh cast of characters. It's sort of a new story, which is honestly refreshing. I'll go into that a little bit later. It's a peaceful time where the Jedi are kind of at the height of their power. There is a threat coming that we find out about in the show, but there's nothing really happening at the current state in the big picture. The main characters are Osha and May, played by Amanda Stenberg, which she does a pretty good job, but we also get to meet a character named Yord, who's a super ripped Jedi. We get to meet Jackie, who's played by Daphne Keane, who plays Lara from Logan, or X-23, and we also get to meet Sol, who's played by Lee Jung-jae from Squid Games. That's what he's most known for. So a pretty decent cast. Lee Jung-jae's Sol character harkens a lot to Qui-Gon Jinn. There's a lot of similarities, and he himself even said that he based his character quite a bit on Liam Neeson's rendition of Qui-Gon Jinn. So what I like about this show so far is that they've done something that Star Wars has gone away from recently, with a few exceptions. Something that I am not a fan of, which is that they're leaning a lot on nostalgia and bringing back characters and bringing back things that we know of to sort of generate interest and drive the story. One of the shows that didn't do this, that I think is the best show Star Wars has ever done, is Andor, and I also think Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie, but I think what made that so great is that it took characters we didn't know, put them in a setting that we weren't super familiar with, and really allowed the great characters to drive the story and the narrative, rather than having the characters sort of pilot the story so that we could get to these reveals and checkpoints. This show, I can't say that it fully has done that, but it is leaning more that way than the opposite way, which is essentially it's using characters to sort of drive the narrative and get us interested in the characters, which then drive the show. So if they can keep that up, I think that will be successful, and I think it will make it stand apart from some of the stuff we've had recently. So one thing I will say about sort of Amanda Stenberg's performance so far, I think her characters are interesting, May more so than Osha, but I do think they are a little one-dimensional and a little shallow at this point. But again, we'll see if they can develop them over the course of the season. So I think this show would appeal to most Star Wars fans. I think so far the fight scenes have been really good and well choreographed. I think it's gone away from something that I haven't liked about recent Star Wars shows as well, which is that there's too much force powers. Like, I'm just gonna push you and you push me back, and then I push you and you push me back. Like, there's more hand-to-hand combat and they're well choreographed. But I think one thing that the urgency the show should have is it needs to really be great. Like, this show is going to get lost in arguably the best month of TV we're ever going to see, with House of the Dragon Season 2 coming, The Boys Season 4 coming, The Bear Season 3 coming, and if you like Bridgerton Season 3 Part 2 is also dropping this month. So for the Acolyte to stay current in a heavily saturated month of great and established TV, it's really going to need to step up its act and make the show really good. Otherwise, it's going to be forgotten as people gravitate towards and watch these other shows, which I think will be better. I don't think The Acolyte's going to be an all-time great show, but I think it could be something that's fun for Star Wars fans, and maybe pull in some casual fans as well. So those are my thoughts on the first 2 episodes. We'll see and provide more updates on that show and all the ones I mentioned before in the coming weeks. Thank you so much. Catch you next time.